Today we are going to be modeling this park bench. It was an inspiration I got yesterday, and what we are going to be doing here is I'm going to be making the model very simple. It will be more or less a static model, which means there will be no parts that will come together to form a component. Every single thing will be bodies, and they will be extruded from one certain point so that it is easy to follow. For us to begin, you can see the park bench here as an example of what we are going to be doing, and I have my measurements already on ground. That's what I will be using, and well, let's begin. Now, first off, I'm using Fusion 360. That's my CAD software. I would also advise you to save your work, because that way, if anything goes wrong while you're modeling, you're safe. You cannot start from wherever you stopped, the last point you saved. And to do this, we are going to start by clicking on create. I want to sketch on this right profile, so let's click on it. Once that's loaded, let's leave this as is, and let's start by sketching a construction line, which will be half the length of our, or is it half the length? Half the width of our bench. So I'm going, the width of our bench itself is, what is that again? 32.87. So here we can do a little bit of maths. 32.87 we are going to do divided by 2. Now once that's done, I can click on OK, and let's click on rectangle. We select this, draw it out, and in this dialog box our height is to be 30.935. Width itself, if I click on tab, width is supposed to be 32.87, and we'll click on enter. Now once this is done, what I want to do is use lines to create the internal walls, and this. Let us set this angle properly to 90 so it stops moving around, and let's click on this. Now something else I should do just before I continue, I want to put this in full screen. Enter full screen. So this way I can select. This is based on my screen size issue, so if you're using a proper screen size that fits, this shouldn't affect you. Let's continue with the line. Once again, let's say OK, and from down here let's put this at 17, and we'll say OK. Listen, and also I am using inch. You can see it here. If yours is set to millimeter, you can go change it over to inches by clicking on this icon. You can select this and then you choose whichever you're working with, but mine is inches, so please select inch. Now let's go out of here and let's continue. Now back to the dimensioning. Let's click on D, come over here, select these two lines, and then 1.435, and let's say OK. Now please let me show you something. If I click on these two line here and I want to dimension it, rather than putting a 1 point anything, I can just come over here and select this. Now what it does is, if I click on enter, oh, that's not proper. select, and I select this instead, D5. Now you can see if I do that and I change this value here, let's say I make this value to be 2, you can see that this automatically adjusts to 2. That's what parametric design does. It kind of anchors everything to every other thing. So if one unit, one value changes, every other value adjusts to that value that has changed, so your design remains intact. So let's undo that, and we'll dimension this part. And once again, I'm going to select this here, D5. Now this letter you're seeing there, you can see an fx in the front. That fx stands for a function. So like I said, that's a longer video and a different video. Now let's continue our drawing. Let's select line, come in here, and let's draw a line from this point. Our line would be, okay, let's do that from outside. Our line would be a point 24. Select, and then we want to just drag this outside, don't put it at this box, and then let's say this is okay. Dimension once more, but before we dimension, let me dimension this line off from the base, and let us leave it at 17. That way it is constrained to this 17 and won't move if this dimension goes haywire. Now we're going to select these 2, and I want to put it at 115. Nice. Once this is done, I want to come here, select on this, select this edge here, and I want to touch it to this point. Now you can see what I did. I used this coincidence constraint, so, and I tied that very vertex to this, to the edge of my box. It will stick. Now let's select 1 and 2. Let's do an offset. I want to offset by -3 inches. We'll say okay. This one's sticking out for now, don't worry about them, we'll get back to it. Alright, and once we've done this, I want to repeat the offset again. Select these 2 and do a -1.5, and we'll say okay. Once we've done this, now we would select this center line and we'll make it a construction line. So select construction there, so that it doesn't interfere in our drawing. So we'll come up to create slot, center slot, and this, draw it, make it 6, and then you click enter first before expanding it to 2, and we'll click on OK. Now when I undid that 1 second ago, it undid my center line, so let me do that again. And now I would repeat slot 5 more times. Alright, so now that that is done, you can see I followed my center line. I want to dimension everything, so everything is sitting down and touching themselves perfectly. I want to dimension this circle to this line. Like I said, 6, click on enter, and then expand to 2. Okay, so we dimension points 1 to 2, and we say I want this to be 1 exactly, and then from point 2 to the next one, we want it to be 2 instead. From this to the next, we want it to be 2 also. Now once this is done, we will have to do something else. One of those things is align this edge here, but before we do that, let's offset a couple of this so we can begin to get the internal shape properly. So let's double click on this, hold down shift, double click on the next, and this is not what I want. Double click, hold down shift, continue. Now once this is done, I want to click on offset, and I want to offset by negative 0.08. Is this right? Oh, sorry, negative 0.4. Negative 0.4. And once we've done this, we can click on OK. We would come here. We want to select our construction plane, which is now the second offset we'll do. Click on offset, and here we want to click on symmetric, change the from one side to symmetric, and this would be 0.8. Nice. So once we're done, we can click on OK. Now most of our shapes are formed, and what we'll have to do is just close up some of this space so we can have the option to fillet them so that they can be they can look proper and more rounded off. So come to line, close this edge of that space, and we'll repeat that here also. Once that's done, I can do something. Let me try. Click on coincident constraint, come here and click on this. That should constrain to that angle. Alright. If let me see how far I can push this. Click on this angle. This should click on this angle, and this should click. That shouldn't click anywhere. So yeah, it did work. I can also tidy up this other end by repeating the same constraint. Make this touch this edge. Make this touch this edge. And this to this edge, and let me leave it like this so I know. Now once this is done, I want to select all my profile that will be extruded so I can extrude them before we fillet. So these are the profiles I would select. Now once this is done, I can click on, I can say finish sketch, and let's extrude. We want to extrude to 3. From my angle, -3, so I can push everything to the right. So yes, create a new body. Once this is done, we'll have to fillet, and the way we fillet this is we fillet this, the outer parts first and then the inner part. Select another edge and fillet this. Alright, now we are going to create 2 construction planes, and those 2 construction planes will be used to mirror this, and the other will be used to draw the wood. So construction plane from the right, let's mirror to -30. This will be used to mirror, and we want to repeat offset plane. Same distance, but this time around we want to do a -1. Oh sorry, 1, so that will push off the body by 1. And so okay. Now once that's done, let's turn off plane 2 and let's mirror our first body. Come to mirror, select, and then select this plane. Now we have 2 bodies, and click on OK. See, our body is now double. We'll turn off this plane, and then we'll bring up the second plane, and we want to create on this plane, so click on create sketch, select this plane, and what we want to do here is we want to project this frame. So project, and we select the whole body. So I want to project this body, and click on OK. And let me hide them for a minute. Now what I want to do is I want to select all these oval we have here. So we double click on it, hold shift, and then repeat. Once that's done, I want to click offset, and want to offset by -0.08. We just need this tiny space in between, and we can say OK. Once that's done, you can bring back both bodies. Oh, before we do that, let's turn on body 1, and let's select this internal the offset we just did. Let's select them, bring back this body, and let's finish sketch. Once this is done, I want to extrude this, and if I click on extrude, I want to extrude it to -62. Once I do this, you can see it's filled itself in, and it has this protruding apart here, just like this one here has. So click on OK, and you can see model is almost finished. The last 2 things you want to do is I want to add a fillet at this edge of the wood, and then we can add the material to the wood. So we do fillet, we select what we need, all this edge here, and make it a 0.2. Repeat. And we also make this a 0.2. Once this is done, we can click on OK. Now, like I said, the last part of this will be adding the materials to it. So to do that, let's click on Material A, and we want to use cast iron and cherry wood. So come to iron cast, drag it, and you can see, place it on our body 1, drag and repeat on our body 2, and let's close iron, and then let's use this cherry because that's what I used. Use cherry and then just place it on the individual wood body here. Now the last thing I want to do is color this frame. So double click, and I think this is good. Yeah, I like this. This is good. So let's close this, and voila, here we go. Our design is complete. You can see what's left is you can now go to render or export it out to render. But other than that, this video is complete. Our model is complete. If you find this video, I want you to like and subscribe. That helps me a lot. I also want you to comment, tell me what you want to see or where you don't understand. And also know this, I am also learning as I'm going, so we are all on the same boat. Thank you.